Welcome back to the Celtic Way. Celtic versus Raith Rovers in the Scottish Cup. It's a live team news reaction and build up. I'm Tony Haggerty at Haggerty10 on the X handle, and I'm joined by Ryan McGinley at the Ryan McGinley on the X handle, and he's live from Glasgow somewhere near Celtic Park. Ryan, how are you first and foremost? You good?
Happy Saturday to you, Tony. Happy Saturday to everybody in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Another 5:30 kickoff in the Cup. Not sure how I feel about them, to be honest. I'm used to 3 o'clock, or maybe earlier morning ones, or even late evening, such as 7:45 and 8 o'clock kickoffs. Feels as if we're going all over the place with the times at the moment. Doesn't matter what time it is. We're here to watch Celtic. We're here to cover Celtic, and we'll certainly do that today. Lots of changes today, Tony. Wait till you get that team graphic up.
much changed lineup. There it is. Will I read it out, Ryan? Yeah, do you want to read it out?
On you go. I'll give you the honours, Tony.
Okay, I'll have the honours of reading out the team today. It's Sinizalo in goal, and it's a back four of Tony Ralston, Dane Murray and Liam Scales in the middle, and Jeffrey Schlupp, or Schlupp, whatever way you want to say it. I think we agreed before we came on here that it was Schlupp, Ryan, is that right?
Yep.
And a midfield three of Callum McGregor, Luke McCowan and Paulo Bernardo, and a front three of Nicholas Kuhn, Daisamida through the middle, and Yang on the left. So, yeah, many changes there, Ryan, but obviously rotating the squad because of the game in midweek. And I'll just read out the substitutes. The substitutes are Bain, Taylor, Jota, Ida, Nawrowski, Kenny, Engels, and Hitati. Ryan, first and foremost, what's your thoughts on that team?
It's a strong bench as well. Got to say, yes. It's the first time I've heard the bench, and hearing the names Ida, Jota, etc. Hearing them on the bench, it's good that it knows that that Celtic have got that firepower in reserve if needed this afternoon / this evening. But yeah, even though there's rotation, it's still the vast majority of those players are first team players, and they've been first team players throughout the season. The only exceptions to that being Dane Murray, who's just came back from Queen's Park, and Jeffrey Schlupp, who's been playing for Crystal Palace in the Premier League. So, yeah, it's a strong team, strong bench, and I feel like that should be more than enough to defeat Raith Rovers and probably a big crowd that they're bringing along today from Kirkcaldy.
I tell you what I do want to see. I want to see Dane Murray have a good game. I don't want him to be remembered for that mistake against Aston Villa, which people seem to have brought up. So this is a chance for him just to wipe the slate clean with that, and just that was that led to the fourth goal in injury time. So I'd like to see him step up to the plate and have a right good game today and catch the eye, Ryan. Just for him personally more than anything else.
He's a name that's been linked with Celtic for a long time now, and that's because he made his debut as a 16-year-old due to necessity against Midtjylland in the Champions League qualifiers. He's had a torrid time with injuries since then, but he had a really good loan spell out in Queen's Park, getting first team action against seasoned pros in the Championship. And now he's back and he's here to make a name for himself. And a couple of weeks ago, or last week rather, Brendan Rodgers was talking about how much potential he's got. He's strong, he's quick, he's mature as well. So I want to see more of Dane Murray. Hopefully he can push forward and really stake a claim in the Celtic starting 11 in the years to come. Still very young, still got a long way to go in his career. But I'm happy to see him get his start today. And he's alongside a very trusted customer and Liam Scales, who will help him along the way, I presume.
Noah Redmond, really pleased with the team, and it's good to see Murray in. Yeah, it's good to see them in. And listen, these are the games where Brendan Rodgers wants to rotate. Obviously, a chance to see Voljami Sinizalo as well, Ryan. He's not played all season, played a bit of pre-season. So the manager said that Kasper Schmeichel's got a back issue, but nothing that will keep him out on Wednesday. So I think a lot of eyes will be on Sinizalo, they'll be on Dane Murray, they'll be on Jeffrey Schlupp to see what those guys produce more than the front players, or the forward players.
Yeah, I think you're more familiar with the players at the forward end, which is good because you need to be familiar with them. They're the ones that have scored your goals this season. Good to see Nicholas Kuhn in the team alongside Yang, and then you've got Maeda up front. If Maeda's anything to go by, then he'll be scoring goals through the middle, as he scores goals regardless of where he plays, whether it's on the left, on the right, as we've seen during the week, or through the middle. He knows where the goals are. He's a goal scorer, Brendan Rodgers said, and he's a trusted member of this team to provide goals, and both to provide goals and to put the finishing touch on them as well, and assist his teammates also. But yeah, changes. I like the changes in the midfield as well. But in particular, I like to see Luke McCown. I've been speaking to a couple of people as part of a big piece that I'm doing for the site in the coming weeks. And I just love to hear the story of Luke McCown. I can't wait to see more of him in this team. I think he's a positive force. He is a trust. I've said that a lot, but you can trust these players. There's a lot of trust bestowed on these players. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing all those players in action. Paulo Bernardo getting a start alongside Callum McGregor. There's experience there. There's also a mixture of youth too.
You mentioned Maida. He's got a Scottish Cup hat-trick, scored a Scottish Cup hat-trick against Livingston in the rounds at Celtic Park. So, yeah, he's got pedigree there, Ryan, as well. Anyone else you're looking forward to seeing today, Ryan? I know Paulo Bernardo's come back in to the side. He's been kind of featuring bit parts recently, but he's still got a big part to play because he's a vital member of this squad.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in the team, to be honest, but none more so in the starting lineup than Jeffrey Schlupp, to be honest, because it's his first start. He came off the bench against Dundee during the week, and I thought he did really well. He looked really bright. He looks like a player that isn't short of game time. You know, I know he's played bits and bobs for Crystal Palace over the first half of the season, but he looks as if a guy that can be depended upon for Celtic. Premier League experience, a veteran of the game. He's won the Premier League before. He's been to the latter stages of the Champions League. He's a player that you can depend upon, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of him today and seeing what he can bring. Because in my mind, I think he's playing for a contract at the end of the season. He's playing for his next move. He knows he'll be unattached.
And in his mind as well, I think he's doing that. But I loved his interview yesterday. He spoke to the media yesterday, and he said it was an easy sell. And as soon as he heard it, he said at 2:00 in the afternoon, he was thinking, I hope they've not timed this too late to get something done. I was straight up to Glasgow, couldn't wait to get it done. So he was really keen and enthusiastic because he'd been asked it. He'd been linked before, and he told his agent just to keep tabs on that one, didn't he? So I liked that, Ryan, that he was very keen to come, and he expressed that, didn't he? And he was just like playing in front of 60,000. He's heard about the atmosphere at Al, so yeah, he wants to experience it for himself, and he's here to win things. I like that hunger still there, Ryan, despite being an English Premier League winner, that he still had that hunger. He said he wanted to win trophies and be part of something. And he spoke to Casper Schmeichel and Odsonne Edouard, who both told him, get yourself up there, you'll enjoy it. And he kept emphasising that they said he would have great fun, and the manager said he would have great fun playing for Celtic. So I was really impressed with him, the way he came across yesterday.
It's great to have these references down south, because you do hear a lot of disparaging things about the Scottish game from down south, heading up north. But the players don't hear that, or they only hear positive things, it seems. Because the players that are coming down or coming up from down south have only got good things to say about Celtic from the people that they've spoke to already. Think about Joe Hart. He's now a great reference point for Celtic down south. Casper Schmeichel, you get Kieran Tierney, who's incidentally coming back up in the summer. And Odsonne Edouard as well, the fact that Jeffrey Schlupp spoke to him and he only had good things to say. You could say that Odsonne Edouard hasn't had the career that maybe many would have thought, but his best time so far in his career would have been at Celtic. So he's only got good things to say about the club that really gave him that opportunity in European football. So I'm delighted to hear that, and I'm delighted to hear that Celtic have got such a good name down south. We knew that was going to be the case, but it's good that it's a bit of an echo chamber when it comes to what fans are saying about the club, whereas with players coming up, they've only got good things and they've only heard good things about the club.
I did say that when Joe Hart left, he'd be the best non-paying ambassador the club would ever have, and they should get
him on a salary. Honestly,
he's doing some splendid work as Joe, preaching the good gospel of Celtic. But Raith Rovers today, Ryan, I wrote a piece last night and I mentioned it at the end. We don't want to really mention it. The 1994 Coca-Cola Cup final. There's history there with Raith Rovers, and I was saying that nothing less than a Celtic win, you would see fireworks, metaphorical fireworks, of course. But with Celtic, you have to guard against these things, Ryan. And you're always taking a chance when you're rotating the squad. I understand why Brendan Rodgers done that massive game coming up for Celtic in midweek. But you have to understand that Raith will come and think, okay, see that team maybe have a go. You have to be on your mettle and your guard against that. I still think that's a team that's more than capable of beating Raith Rovers, but you cannot underestimate the challenge today at all.
Absolutely. I want Raith Rovers to come out and make a game of it, because I think arguably one of the best games I've been at this season was the League Cup game against Falkirk. Not maybe for all the right reasons, because it was an exciting game and Celtic would have wanted anything but that. They would have wanted a straightforward into the next round sort of game against Falkirk, but it didn't end up that way. McGlynn's team did so well against Celtic and put up one hell of a fight. I want to see the same today from Barry Robson's team. Obviously, one of his first times back at the club as a manager, at least since he was a player. I know he's been back a couple of times for Aberdeen and the like. But it's always good to see former faces, good to see him back in football. I thought it was quite hard done by. So did Brendan Rodgers after the Aberdeen spell that he had, brought them into European football. But familiar face, but all of that, all of the niceties and that, they go out the window for these 90 minutes or more if required. Yeah. Just want Celtic to go and do the job. Even though it's a rotated team, I want to see those players that have came into the side today taking this as a massive opportunity to get back into the manager's thoughts. You can't imagine that Paulo Bernardo will be happy with his current situation, the fact that he's getting so little minutes. Everyone's talking about Arne Engels and Rio Hatate being informed players at this moment in time. You look at Yang, everybody's talking about Jota, nobody's talking about Yang. Even at Aston Villa, people were talking about Jota when Yang was on the pitch. So it's up to him to prove a point and say, right, I'm good enough for this Celtic team, and prove people wrong, because people have got an opinion on certain players. It's up to them to go and change the narrative.
I made the point on Wednesday night when we spoke after the game as well that I think Kuhn was just like, remember me, I can do these things too. A few weeks ago I was the main man and I was the flavour of the month. But so I'm actually delighted to see Kuhn play today, because I thought he had an excellent cameo the other night, and I've seen it before. Whenever he cuts inside like that on his left foot, there's an air of inevitability about where the ball's heading. Isn't there? Another cracking top drawer goal, Ryan, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings today. Yang, I just think if Yang can't shine on this stage, then you really have serious doubts about him cutting it, don't you, as a Celtic footballer moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt before the game's played. I want to see more from him. There's games in which he has shown that you need something tangible from him. You need goals, you need assists. I know he scored against Dundee a couple of weeks ago, but you need to see that in every single appearance. Otherwise, you're not going to get in the team, because Jota and Kuhn will be there, and Maeda will be there too. Look at their numbers. Their numbers speak for themselves. Jota has got two goal contributions in 2 appearances. Everybody will be thinking, right, Yang's on the pitch, but with 60 minutes on the clock, you're like, is it Jota time yet? So it's up to Yang to really change that narrative and be like, right, we can't take him off the pitch because he's having such a good game. That's my thoughts. Will we get on to score predictions, Tony?
I think from the minute get-go, they'll be saying, is it Jota time yet? You know what I mean? Yeah, get your score predictions fired into the comment section, guys, and we'll read a few out as we're going along. Do you want to go first, Ryan? Do you want to take it away? Give me your score prediction.
I mean, I predicted 4-0 during the week, and it ended up being 6. So you don't want to be too confident, but I think Celtic will win this quite comfortably, despite having changes to the team. I'm going to go 5-0, Tony. I'm going to be bold and say it's going to be 5. I think there'll be goals at the start, maybe a bit of a lull in the middle, and a bit of a flurry at the end when the likes of Jota and Ida come on the park. But I think Raith Rovers, or Celtic, will have far too much for Raith Rovers to handle, even their rotated squad. And I think there'll be goals in the game for Brendan Rodgers' side.
I went 1 up from you the last time, didn't I? You said 4 and I said 5, and we were both still wrong. So I'll go 1 down and I'll say 4-0 in this one, Ryan. But happy to be proven wrong again. Lots of score predictions coming in, so we shall read a couple of them out. 420 somewhere, how you doing? 5-0, he's saying. Welsh Paul, 8-0. Excellent. I like that. I love that optimism. Patman 67, 3 goals in each half, another 6-0. Schlupp saying 3-0. John Milan saying 5-0. Gary Thompson 3-0. Colin Sweeney 5-0. Yang hat-trick. He said, I think there's slight tongue-in-cheek there, Ryan. What do you reckon? Kev 99 saying 9-0. Bronna Brown saying 2-0. Charles McBreen saying 4-0. It's there, Charles McBreen 4-0. And Alan Hughes, evening all, 5-0. He's saying, Ryan, lots of confident predictions, Ryan. Martin Nichols saying 4-0 for him. But yeah, I think most people believe that Celtic will take care of this today, won't they?
Absolutely. And you've got to, with all due respect to Raith Rovers, they're mid-table in the Championship. Celtic should be scoring goals against this side. I'd be expecting them to do that in the lower half of the Scottish Premiership teams. Say, for example, a Ross County, other teams, St Johnstone coming to Celtic Park. I would expect similar. It's not. I don't think it's arrogance. I'm just saying, look at the two squads. Despite one being heavily rotated, there'll be players out there looking to make a point today and prove themselves as being capable of being in the first team squad in the foreseeable future. So I think they've got plenty to do today. I think there will be goals, and I just hope that it clicks. If it clicks today and you've got players that are really desperate to make a point and prove a point, then I think you'll see goals today for the home side.
Well, here's hoping we do. Here's hoping that Celtic are in the draw for the quarter-finals later on tonight. Myself and Ryan will be back at some point after the game, but look out for my instant analysis right on the whistle. Ryan's player ratings as well will be on there. There'll be Brendan Rodgers' question and answer when we get that available, and it'll be all be up on the Celtic Way website, www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. If you feel you want to subscribe, that would be very good and very helpful. We'd like you to do that. But thank you very much. 570 odd people, Ryan, joining us pre-match. I'll let you go and get yourself in situ and watch Celtic. Hopefully another victory, Ryan. We're pretty confident that it'll be another victory, but we shall see. We will reconvene. We will be back. Ryan, enjoy wherever you are. Enjoy the game. It's always result dependent, is it? I always say that, but there you go. Let's hope the fringe players that have come in, Ryan, make an impression.
Absolutely. Yeah, just get the job done and get name in the hat for the next round.
Cheers, guys. We shall see you after the game at some point. Take care and enjoy.
Cheers, guys.